There is a profound shift that occurs in our lives, a quiet revolution that begins deep within, when we finally release the tight grip of control and allow ourselves to move with the natural unfolding of life, instead of constantly resisting it. It is not a dramatic transformation that happens overnight, but a gentle awakening that changes the way we experience every moment. It is a journey from endless striving to peaceful unfolding, from the exhausting battle against life's currents to a harmonious dance with its flow. This transformation is not about giving up or abandoning responsibility. It is about an active, conscious surrender rooted in ancient Buddhist wisdom that invites us to step out of our own way and discover a peace that cannot be found through force alone. The moment we stop trying to control everything, we create space for clarity, compassion, and unexpected possibilities to enter our lives. For so much of our lives, we are conditioned to believe that control is the key to success, to safety, and ultimately, to happiness. From an early age, we are taught to plan every step, anticipate every obstacle, and prepare for every possible outcome. We meticulously organize, strategize, and manipulate circumstances, convinced that if we just work hard enough, think carefully enough, or worry long enough, we can shape life exactly as we imagine it should be. We cling tightly to our expectations, our ambitions, our relationships, and our carefully constructed vision of the future. Yet beneath this relentless pursuit of certainty often lies something much deeper. A quiet anxiety, a fear that if we loosen our grip for even a single moment, everything we have worked so hard to build will begin to fall apart. This constant need to control becomes a heavy burden, one we often carry without even realizing it. It quietly manifests as stress, frustration, disappointment, and a persistent sense that something is always missing. Whenever reality fails to match the picture we created in our minds, we suffer. We become frustrated when people don't behave the way we expect. We become discouraged when opportunities disappear. We become overwhelmed when life takes an unexpected turn. But life, by its very nature, has never promised certainty. It is an ever-changing stream of causes and conditions, constantly shifting in ways that no one can fully predict. Our attempts to freeze a single moment in place or force life into our preferred direction often create the very suffering we are trying to avoid. Buddhist wisdom offers another way, reminding us that peace is found not through domination, but through understanding impermanence and learning to meet change with openness instead of resistance. One of the primary forces driving our need for control is attachment. We become attached not only to material possessions, but also to ideas, expectations, outcomes, relationships, identities, and even the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. We cling to the past, replaying memories and wishing things had unfolded differently. At the same time, we grasp at the future, believing our happiness depends on events that have not yet happened. This attachment creates a fragile foundation for our peace, because everything we cling to is, by its very nature, temporary. Every person changes. Every circumstance evolves. Every season eventually comes to an end. When the object of our attachment shifts or disappears, as it inevitably will, we experience pain, disappointment, and a profound sense of loss. Not because change is wrong, but because we believed something impermanent could provide permanent security. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you hold your hand open, gently and without force, the sand remains. This simple image beautifully illustrates the nature of attachment. The harder we try to possess, control, or guarantee something, the more anxious we become about losing it. We spend so much energy protecting what cannot be protected forever, that we forget to appreciate it while it is here. Letting go of attachment does not mean becoming indifferent or emotionally distant. It does not mean loving people less or abandoning your dreams. Rather, it means loving without possession, hoping without demanding, and appreciating every experience without trying to imprison it in time. True joy is not found by clinging to life, but by fully participating in each moment while understanding that every moment is beautifully temporary. Closely intertwined with attachment is fear. Fear is one of the strongest forces behind our desire to control every aspect of our lives. We fear the unknown. We fear failure, rejection, loss, uncertainty, and change. We fear making the wrong decision or not being enough. We fear losing the people we love or becoming someone we no longer recognize. These fears quietly shape countless choices we make each day, often without our awareness. In an attempt to protect ourselves, we build invisible walls around our hearts and convince ourselves that if we can predict everything, nothing can hurt us. Yet those same walls that seem to promise safety often prevent us from experiencing genuine freedom, authentic connection, and the unexpected beauty that only uncertainty can reveal. When we begin to consciously release our need for control, we also begin to loosen fear's grip upon the mind. This is not something that happens all at once. It is a gradual practice of learning to trust, not blind trust, but a quiet confidence that we can meet whatever life brings with wisdom and presence. It is trusting that while we cannot control every circumstance, we can always choose how we respond. It is understanding that even when life unfolds differently than we expected, it is still unfolding. Often, the greatest lessons, the deepest healing, and the most meaningful opportunities appear only after our original plans have fallen apart. The courage to let go of control is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to walk forward despite uncertainty, knowing that peace is found not in controlling the future, but in fully inhabiting the present. Then there is the ego, that powerful sense of I that so often stands as the primary architect of our need for control. The ego defines itself through comparison, achievement, possession, and identity. It constantly seeks certainty because uncertainty threatens the story it has created about who we are. It wants recognition, approval, and security, believing that lasting happiness can be found by collecting more success, more status, or more control. Whenever reality challenges these stories, the ego resists. It fights against change, argues with what is, and clings desperately to the illusion that life should always unfold according to its plans. Yet the Buddha taught that much of our suffering arises from identifying too strongly with this constantly changing sense of self. The more tightly we defend the ego's version of reality, the more difficult life becomes. Ironically, it is only when we begin to loosen the ego's grip that we discover a freedom far greater than anything control could ever provide. From a perspective of deep wisdom, the ego is not our true self. It is a construct, a collection of thoughts, beliefs, memories, and experiences that we mistakenly identify with. It constantly tells us who we are, what we deserve, what we should fear, and what we must protect. Yet these stories are always changing. They shift with every success and failure, every compliment and criticism, every gain and every loss. When we begin to observe the ego's movements without judgment, we start to recognize that we are not the voice in our mind. We are the awareness that notices it. We begin to see that many of the boundaries the ego creates are imaginary, and that much of the suffering we experience comes from defending an identity that is constantly changing. Letting go of the ego doesn't mean losing our individuality or becoming a blank slate. Buddhism does not ask us to erase ourselves, but to see through the illusion that our identity is fixed and separate from everything else. It means softening the ego's grip, recognizing its impermanence, and understanding that our true nature is far more expansive, interconnected, and compassionate than the ego allows. As this understanding deepens, we naturally become less defensive, less reactive, and less concerned with constantly proving ourselves. We begin to move from a self-centered perspective toward a wider awareness, one that recognizes the shared humanity in every person we meet, and the deep interconnectedness of all life. So, what does it truly mean to let the universe guide you? It is not about becoming passive or abandoning responsibility for your life, nor does it mean waiting for signs while taking no action. Instead, it is a deeply conscious choice to stop fighting reality and begin working with it rather than against it. It means cultivating trust in the unfolding process of life, while continuing to act with wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. It means listening more carefully to your intuition, paying attention to the quiet insights that arise when the mind becomes still, and remaining open to opportunities that could never have been planned in advance. When we step out of our own way, we create space for something new to emerge. We stop forcing doors that refuse to open and become receptive to the ones quietly opening beside us. We stop trying to force square pegs into round holes and instead allow life to reveal possibilities we could not have imagined. This often begins with a simple but profound shift in perspective. Instead of constantly asking, "How can I force this to happen?" we begin asking, "What is this moment trying to teach me? What is the wisest response?" Or, "How can I meet this situation with clarity instead of fear?" Those questions gently transform our relationship with life itself. As we make this shift, our actions no longer arise from desperation or the need to control every outcome. They arise from presence. We still make plans. We still work diligently. We still pursue meaningful goals. But we are no longer imprisoned by the belief that our happiness depends on life unfolding exactly as we imagined. We learn to act wholeheartedly while remaining flexible enough to accept whatever result follows. The benefits of living this way are profound and far-reaching. When we gradually release the need to control everything, stress and anxiety begin to lose their grip on the mind. The constant stream of mental chatter starts to quiet, making room for a deeper sense of calm. Instead of living in endless anticipation of what might happen tomorrow, we become more fully present with what is happening today. We discover that peace is not found in certainty, but in our ability to remain steady amidst uncertainty. Challenges no longer feel like personal attacks from life. Instead, they become opportunities to cultivate patience, resilience, and wisdom. Every obstacle carries the potential to teach something that comfort never could. We begin to understand that difficult seasons often prepare us for blessings we cannot yet see. What once felt like punishment gradually reveals itself as part of our growth. Our relationships also begin to transform. We let go of trying to control other people's thoughts, choices, or emotions. Instead of demanding that others meet our expectations, we learn to accept them with greater compassion and understanding. We become better listeners because we are no longer constantly trying to shape every conversation to fit our own perspective. We discover that genuine love is not built upon possession or control, but upon freedom, respect, and presence. As the mind becomes quieter, clarity naturally follows. Decisions that once felt overwhelming often become surprisingly simple because they are no longer clouded by fear or endless overthinking. We begin noticing opportunities that had always been present but were previously hidden beneath our constant striving. Sometimes the answers we have searched for appear only after we stop desperately searching for them. Practicing this art of letting go is a lifelong journey rather than a destination. There will be moments when fear returns, when attachment tightens its grip, or when the ego once again insists that everything must happen according to its plan. That is perfectly natural. The practice is not about becoming perfect. It is about gently returning again and again to awareness whenever we notice ourselves becoming lost in resistance. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate this awareness is through mindfulness. By observing our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without immediately reacting to them, we create a small but powerful space between stimulus and response. Within that space lies freedom. We notice the urge to control without automatically obeying it. We recognize fear without allowing it to dictate our choices. Little by little, awareness begins to replace habit. Meditation, even for a few minutes each day, strengthens this capacity. It teaches us to remain present with whatever arises, rather than constantly chasing pleasure or escaping discomfort. As we sit quietly, watching the breath come and go, we begin to witness the changing nature of every thought and emotion. We discover firsthand that nothing remains the same forever. This direct experience of impermanence gradually softens our attachment and helps us trust the natural rhythm of life. Cultivating gratitude is another powerful practice. When we intentionally focus on what is already present instead of constantly reaching for what is missing, our perspective begins to shift. Gratitude reminds us that abundance often exists long before we recognize it. The more deeply we appreciate the present moment, the the less desperate we become to control the future. Releasing expectations is another essential step along this path. It is perfectly natural to have dreams, goals, and aspirations. Buddhism does not discourage meaningful effort. What it cautions against is becoming attached to one specific outcome or one particular path. We can plant the seed with great care, but we cannot command when the flower will bloom. By holding our intentions with an open hand instead of a closed fist, we allow life the freedom to unfold in ways far wiser than our limited perspective can often imagine. Ultimately, letting the universe guide you is about cultivating a deep trust in the intelligence woven throughout life itself. It is about recognizing that you are not separate from this vast, interconnected web of existence, but an inseparable part of it. As attachment loosens, fear begins to fade, and the ego slowly releases its grip. Life starts to feel lighter. You navigate uncertainty with greater confidence, meet challenges with greater compassion, and discover joy in places you once overlooked. You realize that true peace was never waiting at the end of perfect circumstances. It was quietly waiting beneath your resistance all along. If this message resonates with you, if something within you recognizes this truth, I invite you to subscribe to this channel for more reflections inspired by Buddhist wisdom. And if you know someone who may need this reminder today, consider sharing this video with them. May you find the courage to loosen your grip on what cannot be controlled, the wisdom to embrace each moment as it comes, and the peace that arises when you learn to trust the unfolding of life, one mindful step at a time.